Good morning. So here we are out in the beautiful bush again in this winter morning sunshine. Isn't it just glorious? Just glorious. And it leads me into something that I'd really like to have a chat with you about today, because it's talking about just experiencing ordinary happiness, and instead of chasing what we have learnt to be happiness over our lifetime, and the expectations of happiness being busy and exciting. So if you'd like to have that chat with me, how about we walk together, or you can sit somewhere nicely in the sun, grab a cuppa. Because what if happiness isn't something that we always need to experience? What if it's something that we notice? I wonder if sometimes we've been sold this story that happiness comes when I earn more money, or I get a better car, materialistic possessions. Or I'll be happy when I lose weight. Oh, there goes the train. Speaking of trains, I'll be happy when I travel, get to a different destination. I'm happy when I have a better house. There's lots of different things that I think we might have been a bit groomed, or, in our culture. And sometimes we can get stuck in that mode of living and fail to recognise that it's actually, happiness is now, it's today, it's here, it's in this moment. It's looking at this beautiful artwork in the bush over here, if you can see it in the background. Happiness is right now, it's this moment. And even it's cold, the wind, the breeze, but it's fresh and crisp, and it makes me know that I'm alive. I've come to recognise this, I guess, after many years of not living in the moment. Living in the moment doesn't just mean that you don't care about the future, and it doesn't mean that I spend every cent that I've got today because tomorrow doesn't matter. That's not how I believe living in the moment is. It's about listening, wondering, being curious. The ordinary moments. And that's the new future of happiness. So I do feel like perhaps in the past I've mistaken happiness for excitement, and not really recognised or appreciated joy in the moment. In my career, I've strived to be better, do better, have more, learn more, be faster, keep up with the KPIs to keep the organisation happy, maybe earn more money, get a promotion, because that equaled happiness, right? You get a promotion means you get more money, but do you? You get more money, you pay more tax, which I'm okay with paying tax, but actually sometimes you just work harder, and it's an illusion a lot of the time. Perhaps I lived in a life where I thought more possessions made me happier, a better car, owning my own home, having nice furniture in that home. But having repayments didn't make me happier. And today I experience, I've got my own home, it's an older home, but it does bring me joy, and it brings me comfort, and I feel stable in there. And I've got an older car, and she's been in getting fixed recently. If you watched another video from the past, I had a few mishaps with it, and so I just got her back this week. And driving that old car around again feels like home again. Like, it brings me joy and happiness. I know that sounds weird, but she's heavier and she's solid, and it feels secure compared to the rental car that I had because it was new and it was light and the steering was different. It was a front wheel. I know you probably understand that more than I do, but the front wheel steered the car and it felt less stable on the road. I was always worried about it being scratched, and which it got scratched. But in my car, she's like part of the family. The kids learnt how to drive in her, and she's, I guess I'm attached to it in a little bit of a way. So it's not a materialistic thing, it's actually a feeling in the ordinary things. I know it sounds very ordinary, doesn't it? And you know, I really, sometimes I wow myself because I think, wow, how life's changed. It's crazy how life's changed for me in the last 3 years. The wind's quite cold. It's okay because it's winter and it's meant to be cold. There'd be something wrong if it wasn't. And so I'm learning to appreciate this. I just wear warmer clothes, appreciating the small moments. Earlier this morning at 7 o'clock, I met my beautiful daughter who's back home for a little while after travelling overseas. And we've been having this routine of having a coffee early at the coffee shop and talking. And it's so wonderful that I get to do that now because I know in not too much time she'll be off again doing some volunteering overseas again, and she'll be gone again for a while, and then there's no kids around again for a while. And so I'm so happy for them and appreciating the joy of watching them explore the world and their lives. So I get to appreciate the ordinary, what seems to be ordinary coffee in a cafe. I know it seems extravagant having a coffee in a cafe, but we're doing it because it's a place to meet, catch up. The staff make us a beautiful coffee. We talk and we chat about the day yesterday, about today. We draw cards, so we have some beautiful, beautiful, they're not tarot cards, but daily cards that bring you joy and happiness and ask you to look at life differently. And I'm really appreciating that. It makes me look at the world and my life differently. I started doing this more. And I do take the dogs out for a big walk every day. I appreciate the time with them and the love and seeing them so happy having a walk and a run through the bush. But I'm also making sure that I do this by myself, for myself. And so that means I get to move my body a bit more too. And yes, I do work for myself, and I work at home, and work's a bit slow at the moment. The economic world's changed. And so I choose to look at it differently. I choose not to say that, well, there's not much money coming in, that's a problem. I choose to look at it, well, the universe has given me an opportunity to create more videos and grow this community because someone out there needs this and someone out there needs this message. And I feel grateful that I can offer it. Ordinary moments. As you go through the day today, have a think about what might be an ordinary moment for you that you may never have considered taking notice of it. It might be a morning coffee, it might be getting organised to go to work, it might be organising your kids or sitting with your grandkids, it might be a walk. You might still be in bed and just appreciating your sheets, the comfort, the warmth. It might be reading the paper or taking a moment to check in with a friend, just ordinary, the hot shower that you feel on your body. Moisturising some beautiful cream into your skin. Putting your sunscreen on your face or your moisturiser. And it sounds simple, doesn't it? Listening to those birds. Have you sat out in your backyard and listened to any birds or nature lately? walk down to your park, walk around your streets if it's busy and bustling, and a city, if you're living in a city. Just people watch. Just take a moment and just enjoy the ordinary things in the ordinary life. As I walk around this beautiful botanical gardens here, not far from my home, I'm just wondering if I've walked around here many times, but today I'm going to look at it with a different lens, a real lens of appreciation, a lens that, in this beautiful bush area that used to be a tip. It actually was a tip when I was a young child. You probably can't see it, but there's a hill in my background. Maybe you can, but there's a hill up there in the background. And so that hill, when I was a child, I used to go there with my dad, and it was the local tip. And so I'm 58 now. And so, 40, 50 years ago, that generated, like, for the whole town, where all the rubbish went. And so then they wanted to develop some housing sort of in the area. So they started to regenerate it, build up the bush, create some areas where the water would gather. And then they've started building these beautiful walkways and pathways through here, and the children's playground. And someone has very caringly and lovingly created this artwork and these sculptures. So taking a moment to appreciate that, you could walk past it and think, yeah, that's nice. But if you actually take a moment to appreciate that someone's put a lot of love and care into that, and it's here for everyone for years to come to appreciate just the quieter moments. I love that. I said to my daughter this morning, I really feel like sitting outside in the cold, a bit of sunshine, I'm actually really learning to look at life differently, to actually really feel it, not just let it pass by, not let moments pass by, but actually take it in and appreciate where I am here today. Because I, for one, admit that since I left my career a few years ago, it's been a challenging few years, and I've been in my head, and I've always got listening to something. I'm in the doing mode, and now it's time to get in the being mode, being. I don't feel like I have to put on makeup to come on here and talk with you. I don't feel like I need to do my hair. I need to be presentable. Yes, I need to brush my hair and wash my face, but I don't need to be something that I don't want to be every day. Some days I might be a bit more made up than others, depending on if I've been in my office or what I'm doing, and I might feel like doing that. But I can be myself, and I want to urge you to have that feeling too, because it's a feeling of stability, and it's a feeling of loving yourself and being okay with where you are today. Let's grow this community. Let's make it a place of joy, comfort, belonging. Belonging is such a big emotion. It's more than a word. So if it feels right for you, I invite you to subscribe and join in the conversation. Maybe you'll hear a bit more of that. Tomorrow we'll talk about some of the life lessons that I've learned. Maybe you have too. See you then. Bye.